It's not easy to open up like this, to share parts of yourself that have been hidden for so long. Maybe this is the right time to do it. Nature has always been my refugee. As an introvert and deeply shy child, I've found in books and open spaces the freedom that social life denied me. My insecurities were like invisible walls that separated me from the world, especially from friendship, and especially females one. I always felt out of place, as if I didn't really belong anywhere. Drawing was my first escape. Spaceships and cars that came to life on paper, transporting me to distant worlds where I could be wherever I wanted. Some of those drawings still hang on the walls of my house. Not to, not, not so much for their artistic value, but to remind me of where I started. Then came photography, thanks to a friend and his contacts. In that makeshift darkroom in his bathroom, I saw images emerge from wet paper, and for the first time, I felt I could create something meaningful. But it wasn't enough to fill that a void of felt inside. There were dark moments, very dark, moments in which the weight of isolation and my fears become unbearable. I've never told anyone before, but I got to the point of thinking it wasn't worth continuing anymore. The thought of ending it, the thought of ending it at all had become a constant companion, silent but present. But nature had other plans for me. It was a she, with her silent and not judgmental beauty, who showed me a way out. Here in Sardinia, among the 1,000-year-old nuraghi and wild landscapes, I began to rediscover myself. And then they arrived, the bird of prey. Seeing an eagle soaring in the sky, observing its freedom, its strength, made me realize that I too could take flight. Photography became more than a passion. It became my way of communication, of sharing not only images, but emotion, sensation, parts of myself. This passion pushed me beyond the confines of my comfort zone, all the way to Norway in search of the white-tailed eagle. And that's where I found myself facing a new world, the English language. There I was, with my photography equipment full of enthusiasm, but unable to communicate. It was frustrating. I had overcome so many fears, but this language barrier brought me back to the feeling of isolation. I knew all too well. How could I share my passion if I couldn't even talk to other photographers? The decision to study English was not an easy one. I was never good at language at school, and the idea of putting myself out there again, of risking making mistakes, reawakening all my old insecurities was really hard. I started with a private school here in the city, but I felt it wasn't enough. I needed something more. It was an English guy, met on an online study platform, who suggested the idea of making videos in English. At first I thought it was crazy. I, who was afraid of speaking even Italian in front of the camera, should I do it in another language? Then I understood. Yes, I understood it wasn't just about learning a language, but about breaking down another wall, overcoming another fear. And here I am, speaking to you in English. It's not perfect, I know. I still make mistakes, and my accent betrays my Italian origins. But you know what? that's okay. Every video is a small victory. Every conversation with a foreign photographer is a step forward. English has become another tool to share my passion, to reach people I would never have met otherwise. People often ask me why I don't make videos in Italian. The answer is simple. This channel is not just about nature photography. Yes, it is, but it's also about overcoming our and your fears, about getting out of your comfort zone, about growing. Every video in English is a reminder that we can always push our limits, but it's never too late to learn, to change, to evolve, to improve ourselves. Sharing, which has now become so important to me, was born right here, from the desire to show others that there is always beauty to be discovered, even in the darkest moments. Online forums first, then YouTube, became places where I not only shared technical information, but where I could end up finding myself, in any language. It's been a long journey from the creeping shyness of the past to the person I am today. I'm not cured. The shyness and insecurities are still part of me, but I've learned to accept them, to live with them, and most importantly, I've realized that I'm not alone. There is my wife with me now, and if you are watching this video and you recognize yourself in anything I said, I want you to know that you are not alone. Nature, photography, sharing can be lifeless in difficult times. My channel wants to be just that. Not just a place to talk about photography techniques or show beautiful images, but a space where we can be authentic, where we can share our fears and hopes. And if you find yourself here in Sardinia, perhaps in spring, when the island is its most splendor, contact me. It won't be just an opportunity to photograph together, because it would be a great pleasure to meet you, but also to share stories, experiences, and maybe even those parts of ourselves that we keep hidden. Sometimes the most important journey is the one we make inside ourselves. Photography has been my traveling companion. What's it yours? I'm looking forward to listening to you. See you.